Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Kel & Co. This is a brand new channel that I've started to, my main priority for the channel is to be tracking our family's 2022 budget journey. But as I progress, there may be a few other different things that I crop up of what our family gets up to over the year. I'm starting off this year with our family budget for the very first time using the budget by paycheck method by the budget mum. I had discovered her videos in 2021, probably about September, and I was really found that this budgeting method was just sort of what aligned with what our family sort of principles, were, and how we function as a household already. So it was something that really just seemed to fit well into what we were currently doing. A little bit about our family. It's myself and my partner and our 3 children. We've just recently had our 3rd child, and that's why, to me, it's really important that we get on top of our budget now that we've got 3 kids moving forward. We're in Australia, so obviously very different things financially, comparison between here in Australia and America, the UK, all of that sort of thing. Cost of living is very different between all the countries. We're lucky here in Australia that we have the Medicare system, so healthcare is quite affordable. And currently with my 3rd child, I'm getting the government paid, I think it's 18 weeks paid parental leave. So we're quite fortunate here in Australia. Our big thing that we're looking at doing this year is really smashing off some of our debt. Now, I would say that we've got quite a average household debt for an Australian family. That might be a bit debatable. I'm not too sure, because I guess debt conversation isn't really something that you have with your friends around the dinner table. So we've obviously got, $25,000 of debt that we're trying to get on top of this year and get as much paid off of that as we can. So I started at the beginning of January and we're tracking quite well. So it will be really interesting to see, where we go over the next few months. And then with my return to work, wasn't too quite sure what I wanted to do. Returning to work hours wise, childcare is quite expensive because we have 3 children. I have 2 that I'll have to be putting into care if I wanted to go back to work full time. Even though the government does provide a little bit of assistance for the cost of childcare, it's still a huge out of pocket for our family, and it's just that tricky thing of weighing up when it takes away more than half of your wage for the week to cover the cost of childcare. Is it really worth going back, when you're only walking away with maybe 40% of your wage? So I guess that's a little bit about us and what we're trying to do this year. Let's just have a look at some of the things that I have filled out in our book already here. So this is our yearly goals. Now, I've just covered up the names of the children in here, and hopefully you can see it. But our first goal is, we've never saved for Christmas and things like that before, but this year we want to save for Christmas. So our goal is $800. Now, we've actually already worked out what we want to get the children for Christmas. We want to just do a joint gift, and it's a little bit more than that, probably add another $600 on top. So we'll just see how we go saving for this goal, and if we can put away a bit more money to reach, what we would really love to get the kids, we might do that, and we might dip into some of the birthday funds potentially, because 2 of our children, their birthdays are quite late in the year. So $200 for each birthday. Now that would include all birthday cakes, if they were having a party, covering all the costs of that sort of stuff. Then we've got holiday. Now I've got 2 lots of 500. We own a caravan, so we like to get away as much as we can, and we like to do, one nice big trip middle of the year and a nice big trip in winter and in summer. So 500 allocating for each. We just recently have been away, so this might change a little bit. And that would just to go away for a week somewhere. have some fun with the kids. Back to school is quite high. We've decided to send our eldest child to a private school here in our local area, so school fees are quite high, but this is to cover school fees, new uniforms, new shoes, just any cost associated. We have until March to pay school fees. We like to try and pay them up front, hence why we want to try and save up for the whole amount of 2023 this year. We already have this year's fees covered. Then we want to have a little bit of money set aside for some renovations around the house. So maybe getting some outdoor blinds on some of our windows to help keep the house cool, add a bit more privacy. And we're looking at doing a laundry renovation ourselves. So that could be potentially maybe a video that I post looking at, what we do with that. So again, we'll just see how we go with it. That's really not a important goal for us. That's just, if we could do it, it would be nice. As well as the holiday and saving that extra for Christmas. We also want to have an emergency fund, which we've never had before, but our pets, we've got a dog and a cat and a bird. The dog and the cat are both getting on now. They're both quite old, so potentially, we're going to start running into higher vet bills and things like that moving forward. So just to have a nice little buffer there. So that's our goals that we're looking at trying to achieve this year. Obviously, paying down the debt is one of our big ones. So I might post another video where I can go a bit more in depth on our debt, where we're at, where we want to be. We currently have 2 credit cards and 2 car loans. So it's just one of those things. The car loans, we probably shouldn't have done it, shouldn't have bought these cars that we couldn't afford, we didn't need to. It was very much a want, desire, definitely not a need. But we have seen, the errors in our ways now, so it is what it is. One of the things that really spurred on our budgeting journey is we went to the bank while I was still pregnant with my 3rd child, and we wanted to get a small loan to finish off some outdoor renovations that we had been doing. We had the money saved up, but I didn't want to dip into the savings knowing that I was just about to head off on maternity leave. We had to do that in the end because the bank actually said there's no point you applying for a loan because it won't get approved. You're pregnant, so that just really puts things, puts a spanner in the works. I had to get a letter from work sort of stating, that I had a job to go back to, and it was just a real headache. So in the end, we decided not to do that, and we just used our savings to pay for it. So obviously that ate into our savings quite a bit, and now once we pay the school fees for this year, we won't be left with the nice buffer that we've had the last few years. And again, that means I'm probably going to have to head back to work, doing more hours than I had hoped. But that's okay, we have to do what we have to do. So the bank sort of said, if you got rid of those credit cards and you could increase your income potentially, you'd be a lot better off. My partner himself, he is a casual worker. He's in the trade industry here in Australia, and I'm also a permanent full-time worker, permanent part-time, I think. So those are sort of the main reasons the bank were not interested, even though we've had our mortgage with them for years, and all of that. They know that we can pay the money back. Obviously, the lending laws in Australia have just had a huge overhaul, and things are a lot harder now, which they probably should have been previously, because then we wouldn't have been in the situation we're in now. So it's going to be a journey, but I'm confident that we'll get there. My partner is well and truly on board with this, so he often doesn't understand when I'm trying to show him things here in the book and explain things to him, but we're getting there together, and it's a journey we've got to go on together to help put us in a better financial position. Ideally, we'd like to have a lot of our debt paid off so that we can look at maybe doing some bigger renovations to the house or building a new house for our children, because we're in quite a small home. So that's the main reason sort of why I've started this channel, is to help me connect with other people out there that are doing the same thing in a similar circumstance. When I've been watching YouTube videos myself, I found it really hard to find an Australian, whether it be man or woman, doing a budgeting thing that just had what I would call like a normal average life. Like they have kids, they have a mortgage, they have pets, and they have just normal jobs. Like we don't have high paying jobs where we're earning, you know, $100,000 a year, just one of us. That's really what our joint income is for a year. So there are a lot of people here in Australia, you know, that easily earn that, just one person working. So I wanted to sort of start a channel too as well. I thought, you know, I struggled to find what I was looking for. Maybe I'm not the only one searching for that. So maybe my videos will be able to help someone else who's also looking for someone in a similar situation to them. So yeah, we're mum and dad, 3 kids, 3 pets. We own our own home. We're fortunate than most. We do have an investment property, so we earn income from that. But yeah, other than that, we are just completely normal average people on normal average incomes, trying our best to make the right decisions, pay off our debt, and provide a better life for our kids. So that's probably, I'll just wrap this video up with that for now. I don't want it to be too long. I would really love it if you could hit the like and subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and hopefully come along on our budgeting family journey this year with us, and we'll see where it takes us. I'm really excited about it, and I'm hoping that we can, you know, have some goals getting smashed out, maybe even next month with one of the credit cards getting paid off. That would be awesome. But I'm really excited to connect with other people here in the YouTube community. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, let's leave it at that for now. Thank you for spending your time with me, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.